G'day, Ben from Melbourne here, and we're going to do another one of those two men and a dick. Good to see you, Cosmic. How you going?
How you doing, Ben? How you doing, Brian? It looks like
What
Brian's going to be kind of quiet this episode, like he was on the first.
the fuck's going on, man? You got to lay off the weed. You're
Yeah.
catatonic. He's catatonic.
He looks pretty catatonic. He's got a smile. He's got that smile on his face, though.
Yeah, at
That
least
shit grin.
he's happy to be here. At least I suppose.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, I thought I would because wear a hat in Cosmic's honor.
I
But I
guess
think
I
I
could
think
have got a. Next episode, I'll bring a hat.
All right. I think I've with the glasses and beard. I think I've come off looking like a much younger and much more handsome Mazzy.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
So, what's
Well,
been shaking the
talking
VC
about
earth?
Mazzy,
Yes.
I mentioned I got a couple. Like somebody sent me a record, and then uh, Ryan Kidd sent me a free 7 inch, and I kind of made the comment about people are going to start complaining about my channel because how can I review this record in a you know without in an objective way, similar to Mazzy and his what is it, the Rhino Hi-Fi
Yeah.
things that he's getting for free. And I was just wondering, I mean, I was just kidding, but I do have thoughts on that whole thing. I was wondering, what do you think about that? Or do you want me to go first? You don't want to put your
Oh,
foot in your mouth?
you go. You go. You got something on your mind.
Yeah, I I don't have nothing against people getting freebies and whatnot. But for me, the vinyl community is just a bunch of wankers showing their records and talking about this and talking about that. And when you're getting free records from a record company, I don't think you're no longer part of the VC. You're part of the industry now. The way I look at it, you're part of the machine,
Yeah.
and there's
I can.
nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah.
that's what I think.
No, I can see that. And if you go outside of the VC and in YouTube in general, and you talk about influencers and that, and they have all sponsors, and if you've
Yeah,
ever had the bad luck to run into one of their videos, and it's the whole thing is like a friggin' infomercial from the clothes they wear to the furniture in the background of their room, and and those travel videos, which my old man, because he's at that age where he wants to get in a caravan and travel around Australia, he watches all that, and there's all these like 30-year-old couples and who are got sponsorship from all these camping things, and they go around, and that's what funds their thing. But yeah, like they're part of the company. They're not.
yeah,
Like I find it interesting in the way that it's cool to see what's out and available. And man, I wouldn't knock back free records either. So
yeah. And
but like when it comes to Mazzy, he's like very very open about it, and like in that what is it? You said the Rhino High Fidelity. He
yeah,
did say like the two new ones. He said he was interested in one of them, and the other one, which I think was Stevie Nicks one. He said I got no interest in that one at all. So he actually like if he likes it, he likes it. So, and I think most channels are like that who get stuff.
yeah, I think
I
so.
think, yeah, nobody's like gonna say something's awesome if they really don't like it, because
Yeah, I don't see that coming from out of Mazzy's mouth at all.
yeah. But yeah, it is interesting because like he's like got on that level of like that many subscribers and viewers that like the record companies do take notice of what he says and his tastes and things like that. And he influences people. you know that's why I think last time we did one of these, we're like, why the fuck do we know mastering engineers names and things like that? And it's
Yeah, it's
because I reckon there's Mazzy's a big part of that.
yeah, I mastering engineers are not on my wavelength as far as why I buy a record. I
Yeah,
bought many a records based on the cover, you know, not knowing
likewise.
like the Alien Sex Fiend, their first single, Lips Can't
Mm,
Go.
mm,
I bought that based on the 7-inch cover. I go, this looks interesting, you know.
yeah, no, that's a good. I've done the same. I've bought a lot of covers like that. I mean, a lot of records because of the cover. But it's getting a bit expensive to do it that way now.
Yeah, it is. I still do it though.
Yeah, I've got like there's a place over here called Strange World Records, and I've known that guy who works there since like he worked in All Go Go Records, which you might know of because they actually were a label as
Yeah,
well.
I know it. Knew it as a label, but I
Yeah,
guess it was a record company too, and they didn't like. I guess they no longer exist as a.
nah, it was
Yeah.
probably around early 2000s they disbanded, and the shop did as well. Like it was really cool. And anyway, I knew that guy. He went on and he managed one of the pubs who have a lot of punk rock shows here and booked the bands. And now, in the last, was it maybe 10 years, he's had a record store called Strange World Records. And he's one of those guys who you don't go in there to buy like back catalog or reissues or secondhand. He's like very much about all the small indie labels and all the new stuff. And yeah, I've walked in there and walked out with a handful of shit I'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
And and he's like always on the money. He doesn't mess me around. Like he'll be like, you'll love this, and yeah, 9 times. Well, I don't think I've ever had a bad one actually. I'd have to say 10 times out of 10. It's all
So
been good
he
shit.
knows your taste.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, and he knows like my taste within lots of genres, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's how Ron is at Going Underground Records. He pretty much knows my taste, and
Yeah. The problem is trying to get out of there though, because if he'll be like, you'll be looking through the racks and grabbing stuff, and he'll just keep on going, "Oh, you'll fucking love this," and you'll bring it up on through the sound system, and you just like turn it off. I've already got like 10 records, so it gets a bit out of control. But
yeah,
yeah,
10 records is a lot of money.
fucking oath. That's why I only go into his store every few months because I know
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I thought you were gonna say on his day off or something.
Oh man, no, it's a little operation. It's like he's there all the time.
Yeah.
It's actually I've actually been able to save a little bit of money lately because he's moving locations, so he's just online at the moment. So yeah, so that's been okay. But speaking of newish things, I got a few things that I've got lately that I've been listening to. Some Australian, some not. I'm now one record away from having all of the fall studio records.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
How many is that?
I think it's about 42 or 3.
Yeah. Dang.
And that's not counting my 7 inches or 10 inches and like the live things and
Yeah,
all
they have
that.
live albums too.
Yeah, I haven't gone. I've selected certain live records, but I don't know. They're a band I just absolutely love what they do. And I always love that John Peel quote of how he said, like, the fall, always different, always the same. So, yeah, yeah, think they're awesome.
I have exactly 0 fall
Really?
albums. Yeah.
You don't dig them?
No, it's not that. It's just back in the late 70s, early 80s, I wasn't really aware of them. And then it's to the point now, it's like, I don't know where to start. I mean, they have so many. I mean, I
Yeah.
have heard like that Witch Trials one, is it? And I like those. And I've watched them live on
Yeah.
YouTube, and I really dig them. So I would probably like it, but
Yeah. It's probably those, like the first stuff I remember, there was a late night music show over here, which would be all night from midnight on Friday and then again on Saturday night. And I think Fridays were like new videos, and Saturday there was like either a guest host of a touring band, or just have a theme. And I saw the Falls cover of the Kinks' Victoria was, I think, the first thing I saw of them. And I was, at that point, I don't think I knew the Kinks song, and I was like, this is really good shit. And yeah, around that era, like This Nation's Saving Grace, Perverted by Language, those sort of like, I reckon there's about 3 or 4 mid-80s ones, which are probably the easiest to like step into and get into the Fall. Really, really cool.
Now, is the singer the only original member?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read this great book written by one of the former members, and it's called The Fallen. And he goes back and he tries to track down pretty much everyone who's ever been in the band. And apparently he's got a quote. I wish I could remember what it was on the front by Marquis Smith, because he was really against this book being released, and the quote's something like, "Don't read this book, it's bullshit," or something like that. But it's really good, and it just sounds like they all want to play in the Fall. There's like people just lining up at the door, but but it's kind of like some kind of abuse to be in the Fall. Like it sounds like Marquis Smith ran on a resume of drinking lots of pints and having lots of amphetamines, and was just a constant state of paranoia. Like there's that story where they were in America in the late 80s or early 90s, I think, touring, and the band got sick of it, of him just powering over them and bullying them all the time, and they like did the thing of like, well, it's us or the end of the tour. And he was like, well, it's me, and that's it. And apparently he left them behind, picked up an American cover band, and they become the Fall for the rest of the tour. He just didn't give a shit. He was like, yeah. I was lucky. I saw them 2 times. They come over here. I reckon he would have died about 5 or 6 years after the last time I saw him, and really good. And I think that was the band which he'd had together for the longest too. But yeah, he'd be a pain in the ass. Even like then, they'd be playing, and he would just go, if he didn't like what the guitarist was doing, he'd just put his hands over the guitar, or he'd take the microphone off the amplifier and shit like that.
That's pretty brutal, man.
And he would just start playing the keyboard while the keyboard player was like trying to do their thing. And yeah, he's just sounds like a monumental pain in the ass, but I just love their music. I reckon they're great. And no matter who's in his band, they just seem to sound like the Fall.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I got that. And this I was pretty happy about. Because I got some on CD, but I had not seen this on vinyl. Well, I saw it once ages ago and didn't get it and missed out. And that's like the first in the series of those Dope Guns and Fucking in the Streets. This is volume 1 to 3. They're like those amphetamine reptile comps.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's got stuff like the U-Men, the Thrown Ups, which I think was Steve Turner from Mudhoney's band, Helios Creed from Chrome, the band I stumped Mazzy with, Cows, Tad, Halo of Flies. So kind of like, the noise rock end of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's another 2 of these which are really, really good. And Australia, got to mention Australia. Cosmic Psychos are on one as well. And that great Lubricated Goat song, Bad Times, which is cool.
Man, I need to get something to drink. Hold on.
Yeah, do it. I'll just show more shit while you're gone. Another cool. Well, let's sneak in some Australian, New Zealand stuff while Richie's not looking. Got the 3Ds reissue. This is like all of the stuff that they recorded, their Peel sessions and their Triple J sessions, which is Triple J is like a Australian radio station over here, which was a non-commercial one. Yeah, covers like the stuff off the Venus Trail. It's got Jesus, Man on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, Outer Space. If you love that Flying Nun, early 90s sound, wild guitars, weirdly quirky, catchy songs, check out not just this, but all of the 3D shit. Really, really good.
So you and Brian having a conversation while I was gone?
Yeah, I was sneaking in some New Zealand and Australian stuff while you weren't there. So Brian just his eyes like glazed over, so I think he's in agreement with whatever I say at the moment. I got a 12-inch for you. Got a DAF, the Mussolini, which I've been looking for, sort of industrial electronic dance stuff.
Is that from the 80s or 90s?
Late 80s, I think. German dudes.
Yeah.
Really cool. And do you like My Bloody Valentine?
I haven't really heard him much.
I like, this is like the first sort of mini album thing, which I don't often see. Like everybody loves Loveless, which is like the classic shoegaze record, but I actually like this, and the album after this, Isn't Anything, are probably my favorite. And even their early EPs, where they were a lot more song based, because of the Loveless is really like about sound and just layers and layers of guitar and all that sort of shit. But these have got, I reckon, got the right balance. Kind of like how the Beatles, yes, I'm bringing them up. Revolver had the perfect balance of great catchy songs and enough weirdness thrown in as well.
See, now I don't agree with that.
What's your favorite? Oh, we're gonna go Beatles now. So
we can't get away from them.
I shouldn't have fucking brought that up. Anyway,
for me, I don't think Revolver really flows that well. Not like some of their other albums.
What are your favorites?
I think the White Album is my favorite.
I can see why.
Yeah,
I like
Sgt. Pepper. I like Rubber Soul. I like Magical Mystery Tour, Abbey Road. But the White Album's my favorite.
Rubber Soul I've grown to really like. I think the older I get, the more I like when they were still a live band, because I think Ringo's drumming is way fucking sharper because he just plays. He's been playing a lot more than when they recorded the stuff once they stopped touring. Yeah, he's still Ringo, but you can hear it just doesn't have that snap that he had, and they got into that shit of like really deadening the drums and putting, you see film clips and it looks like he's got tea towels and stuff on him, and they're really dead, lifeless. And I don't know, I'm a drummer. I just don't like that sound. It makes me think of shit like the Eagles and all that crap and Fleetwood Mac.
I just got this record here. It's Material Objects in Revision, and the drummer on this sounds pretty unique.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the tom-toms, but once in a while he hits his drum and it's really fucking loud.
What are they, Material Objects? For some reason that name rings a bell.
It's Dominique's band. Seeking a Thread or...
Oh, yeah. That's why I know. Yeah. I've heard that he's got... It's really good, I've heard.
It's really good, yeah. And I think they've gotten better. What's that?
I was going to say, of course, over here it's impossible to get. I don't know if he's...
Yeah, I don't think they printed that many, and it's...
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to... Yeah, I'm sure he's on Bandcamp. I'll have to check it out on that, because
it's on Bandcamp.
Everyone on the VC who I kind of like has similar taste to me have held that record up and said, yeah, this is really good shit. And I keep in my head not putting it together that it's Dom's band as well.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. Now, this is a corker. It's an Australian band called Grinding Eyes. Out of Focus. This is kind of like if the Stooges went shoegaze. It's a fucking awesome record. Really, really good. And you can hear like this, Sonic Youth, Velvet Underground shit all mashed in together. It's really good record.
So it's a pretty new record?
Yeah, that came out just this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really, really good. Haven't yet had a chance to go see them live. I think it might have blown up a bit because I'm pretty sure I saw someone.
Mazzy show it?
Nah, is too cool for him.
Yeah.
I think it was actually Steve Carlson might have shown it. He actually he keeps his finger on the pulse. Like he shows some surprisingly wild new records. Like he's got someone on the inside. Was all I'll say.
He does show a pretty good variety of interesting stuff.
Yeah, I like a lot of his things. I'll just show you a couple more newies, so we'll get bogged down in just being like everything else. Let's get a bit punkish. Bat Piss, new record, been a few years. Melbourne band. If you like sludgy punk, scientist style, you'll dig this. This and their last record, Rest in Piss, fantastic. What's this one called? There's a place in my mind where we all burn alive. So
I thought it was going to be sit and shit or something.
Maybe if it was the Chats or someone like that. Yeah, on the awesome Poison City Records too, which is a great local label. I don't know if I said. Oh yeah, that Grinding Eyes is on Poison City Records too. I think they have good distro over your way as well.
They probably do, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of those ones like they marry up with other ones. I know that is it Anti-Fade over here. A lot of their stuff gets distro through Ghana Records in the US.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ghana does a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Now this, I don't know how this. It's got all of that stuff that you know and love. You can hear the influence. It's called the Frustration. This is like, I didn't know anything about this. This is one of them ones I was telling you where Richie just put this in my hand and said, "You will fucking love this." And this is great. Really good record. It's called So Cold Streams. And what is it? Born Bad Records. I think they're Yanks as well. It's from a couple of years ago, 2019, but this is, a corker. Like it's...
What's the name of the band?
They're called Frustration. It's really, really cool. Not like straight up punk, but you can hear all that in there. Like
yeah.
Yeah, and in that post-punk thing. You're talking like more party punk stuff. These are great. I think they call themselves different every record, but they always keep the retail simps bit. This is just great, trashy, fun punk and roll.
That's a band that
I love.
I've heard them, but I don't know. I just haven't been able to get into them that well.
Love it. Well, if
aren't they the ones that have the cover? They're playing pool or something on one of the records.
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah, and if that doesn't sell it to you, Mikey Young mastered it.
Mikey Young again, huh?
Yeah, he's the new Kevin Gray for punk rock.
Yeah, I noticed in the comments that some people were surprised I didn't know who Mikey Young is.
Yeah. I think these guys are Swedish. You might know them, the Anomalies. They're a really good punk rock band too.
Yeah, there's so much.
Oh, tell me about it. Just so much. And we'll go a couple more. The Circulators. another great fun punk record. This one's on Total Punk, of course. I love that label. Pretty much everything on it's really good.
Total Punk's a great label.
Yeah. But yeah, this is kind of like that, you know, American late 70s punk where it's got lots of hooks in there. Like it's not quite power pop, it's still got that ragged sound about it. It's really good. And what else we got here? Oh, I think are these. No, I'm thinking of the Neutrals. There's a Scottish band called the Neutrals, which you gotta check out too. But this is another band. I don't know how old this is because I bought like 4 of their records at once. They're called Why Bother, and they're really great too. And they're on another label which is like really consistent called Feel It Records.
Yeah, Feel the
A lot,
Records is good.
a lot of good shit on there. And I just want to mention one more Australian one. Legend Kim Salmon with his new record Smoked Salmon. This is real good return to form. Like I like Kim Salmon, but I haven't followed more of his recent stuff. And earlier this year, I went and saw the Hard Quartet, which was that band with Stephen Malkmus from Pavement and Matt Sweeney and Emmett Kelly, who plays with Ty Segall, and Jim White from the Dirty Three on drums, and Smoked
Which
Salmon
guy that plays with Ty Segall? What instrument?
is a guitarist, and he
Oh,
also
okay.
sings. And yeah, all 3 of them sing. Malkmus, Sweeney, and Emmett Kelly. It's like a actual proper band. Like it's cool. Like they were really good. And then Kim Salmon's band supported his new band, and they were good. Like he's got a real. I think the last few times I saw him, he hadn't got the drummer he needed, and they just really click now. Like really, really good. And what's her name? Claire Birchall is the other guitarist, and she's just a gun. So it's really cool. Anyway, I'm going to do this. So I know to chop it there because we're at 27 minutes.
Yeah, it's a good.